Hey, beautiful Taurus souls, welcome back to another reading. I'm sitting here with my cards, and I have to tell you, the energy around this particular topic is just so intense right now. We're talking about those warning signs to avoid repeating past mistakes in love, and honestly, the universe is practically shouting guidance at us right now. I've been pulling cards for this reading, and wow, the messages are crystal clear. Let me share what came through because this could literally save you from walking into the same painful patterns again. So I shuffled my deck and asked specifically about the warning signs Taurus needs to watch for, and the first card that jumped out was the Eight of Wands. This card is all about rapid movement and messages, but in the context of warning signs, it's telling us about those red flags that come at us fast. You know that feeling when someone new enters your life? And everything feels like it's moving at lightning speed? They're texting constantly, wanting to see you every day, talking about the future within weeks. That's your Eight of Wands warning right there. The universe is saying, slow down, beautiful Taurus. Your earth energy thrives on stability and taking time to build solid foundations. When someone is pushing for intensity and commitment too quickly, that's pattern number one to avoid. I've seen this so many times with earth signs like us. We get swept up in the excitement of someone's attention and forget that real love grows slowly and naturally. The energy behind this card is showing me someone who uses love bombing as a tactic. They shower you with gifts, constant attention, over-the-top romantic gestures right from the start. But here's what the Eight of Wands is warning us about. This isn't genuine love. It's manipulation. Real love doesn't need to bulldoze through your boundaries. It respects your need for time and space to develop naturally. I'm getting strong impressions around this card about digital age dating too. Those people who flood your phone with messages, who get upset if you don't respond immediately, who want to know where you are every moment. The Eight of Wands is cautioning against confusing intensity with intimacy. Just because someone is giving you their undivided attention doesn't mean their intentions are pure. The second card that came through was Five of Cups, and oh my goodness, this one hit deep. This is about the pattern of staying stuck in disappointment and loss instead of seeing the opportunities still available to you. The Five of Cups shows us someone crying over spilled milk, while two full cups remain standing behind them. For Taurus, this warning sign is about repeatedly choosing unavailable people because part of you is still grieving someone from your past. The Five of Cups is asking you to examine whether you're unconsciously sabotaging new connections because you're not done mourning an old one. This is such a common pattern I see. We meet someone wonderful, but we find ways to push them away because deep down, we're still processing hurt from before. The energy around this card is showing me scenarios where you might find yourself attracted to people who remind you of past lovers, especially the ones who caused pain. It's like your heart is trying to rewrite the story, to get a different ending this time. But the Five of Cups warns that this is just setting yourself up for more disappointment. This card is also highlighting emotional unavailability as a major warning sign. If you find yourself drawn to people who are fresh out of relationships, still talking about their ex constantly, or who seem emotionally distant, that's your Five of Cups red flag waving. Your Venus-ruled heart wants to heal and nurture others, but the universe is reminding you that you can't love someone into healing. Moving to the third card, we have the Hierophant. And this is bringing up some really important insights about traditional relationship expectations versus authentic compatibility. The Hierophant represents conventional wisdom and established traditions, but as a warning sign, it's cautioning against forcing relationships to fit societal expectations rather than honoring your true needs. I'm seeing energy around this card about people who look perfect on paper but don't actually align with your values or lifestyle. You know, the person your family loves, who has the right job, the right background, but when you're alone together, something feels off. The Hierophant is warning against ignoring your intuition just because someone fits the conventional mold of what a good partner should be. This card is also highlighting the warning sign of someone who tries to change your beliefs or spiritual practices. As a Taurus, you have deep-rooted values and connection to your own spiritual path. If someone is constantly trying to convert you to their way of thinking, whether that's religion, politics, or lifestyle choices, that's the Hierophant showing you a red flag. The energy here is also pointing to people who are overly rigid in their thinking. While you appreciate stability, there's a difference between being grounded and being inflexible. The Hierophant warns against partners who refuse to grow, adapt, or consider different perspectives. These are the people who say things like, "This is just how I am," when you try to address legitimate concerns in the relationship. The fourth card that appeared was Seven of Pentacles, and this is such an important one for our Earth sign energy. This card represents patience, investment, and waiting for results, but as a warning sign, it's about recognizing when you're putting all your energy into something that isn't growing or bearing fruit. I'm getting strong impressions about this card related to one-sided relationships. You know those situations where you're doing all the emotional labor, all the planning, all the communicating, while the other person just coasts along? That's your Seven of Pentacles warning. This card is asking you to honestly evaluate what you're getting back from your investment of time, energy, and love. The Seven of Pentacles is also highlighting the pattern of staying in relationships that have potential but no actual progress. Maybe they keep saying they'll change, they'll commit, they'll work on their issues, but months or years go by and nothing actually shifts. This card reminds us that potential without action is just wishful thinking. For Taurus specifically, this card warns against your natural tendency to be patient to a fault. Yes, good things take time to grow, but the Seven of Pentacles is asking you to distinguish between healthy patience and enabling someone's lack of effort. If you've been tending a garden for years and nothing is growing, maybe it's time to plant new seeds elsewhere. The fifth card that came through was Wheel of Fortune, and this is bringing up fascinating insights about timing and cycles in relationships. The Wheel of Fortune represents the ups and downs of life, but as a warning sign, it's about people who only show up when it's convenient for them or when they need something. This card is highlighting the pattern of cyclical relationships. You know, those people who come in and out of your life when it suits them. They disappear for months, then reappear with grand gestures and apologies. The Wheel of Fortune is warning you not to mistake this inconsistency for passion or destiny. Real love doesn't operate on a convenient schedule. I'm also getting energy around this card about people who are only interested when you're doing well. They want to be part of your success but are nowhere to be found during your struggles. The Wheel of Fortune reminds us that authentic partners stick around through all phases of the wheel, not just the high points. This card is also cautioning against believing that drama equals depth in relationships. Some people create chaos and instability and call it passion, but the Wheel of Fortune shows that real love provides a steady center point even when life itself is unpredictable. Don't confuse emotional roller coasters with genuine connection. The sixth card is Ace of Wands. And while this is typically a card of new beginnings and creative energy, as a warning sign, it's about people who are all spark and no follow-through. The Ace of Wands represents that initial burst of excitement and possibility, but some people never move beyond this stage. This card is warning about those individuals who are fantastic at starting things but terrible at sustaining them. They have grand ideas for dates, amazing plans for the future, incredible romantic gestures in the beginning, but when it comes to the daily work of relationship building, they're nowhere to be found. The Ace of Wands is also highlighting people who mistake sexual chemistry for emotional compatibility. Yes, physical attraction is important, but this card warns against building a relationship foundation solely on passion. That initial fire needs to be supported by genuine friendship, shared values, and emotional intimacy to create lasting love. For Taurus, this is especially important because your Venus energy craves both physical and emotional connection. The Ace of Wands cautions against being so swept away by initial attraction that you ignore fundamental incompatibilities. Chemistry fades if there's nothing deeper to sustain it. The seventh card that appeared was Two of Swords, and this is bringing up crucial warnings about decision paralysis and unclear communication in relationships. The Two of Swords shows someone blindfolded, unable to see clearly, trying to balance two conflicting choices. This card warns against people who can't or won't make clear decisions about what they want. You know those situations where someone says they want to be with you but won't define the relationship? Or they act like a partner but won't commit to being one? That's your Two of Swords red flag right there. The Two of Swords is also highlighting people who communicate in confusing or contradictory ways. They say one thing but do another, or they give you mixed signals that leave you constantly guessing where you stand. This card reminds us that healthy relationships require clear, consistent communication. I'm getting strong energy around this card about people who avoid difficult conversations. They shut down when you try to address issues. They change the subject when you bring up concerns. They use silence as a weapon. The Two of Swords warns that someone who can't engage in conflict resolution isn't ready for a mature relationship. The eighth card is Nine of Cups, which is typically the wish fulfillment card, but as a warning sign, it's about people who are too good to be true. The Nine of Cups represents having everything you want, but in relationships, this can indicate someone who seems perfect but is actually performing rather than being authentic. This card warns against people who seem to magically become everything you've ever wanted in a partner. They suddenly develop all your interests. They agree with everything you say. They mirror your personality back to you. The Nine of Cups cautions that this might be love bombing disguised as compatibility. I'm also getting energy around this card about people who are overly focused on image and appearances. They want to show you off. They're always posting about your relationship on social media, but when the cameras are off, the connection feels shallow. The Nine of Cups warns against confusing performance with genuine affection. This card is also highlighting the warning sign of someone who promises to fulfill all your dreams and be everything to you. Healthy relationships involve two complete individuals choosing to share their lives, not one person trying to be someone else's entire world. The ninth card that came through was the World, and this is fascinating because the World represents completion and fulfillment. But as a warning sign, it's about people who claim to be completely healed and evolved when they're actually avoiding their shadow work. This card warns against people who present themselves as having done all their healing work and having no more growing to do. They might use spiritual or therapeutic language to seem enlightened, but the World cautions that anyone claiming to be completely evolved is probably in denial about their areas for growth. The World is also highlighting people who rush toward commitment because they want to check the relationship box rather than actually build something meaningful. They're focused on the destination of being in love, rather than enjoying the journey of getting to know each other. I'm getting energy around this card about people who seem to have their whole life perfectly figured out, but are actually quite rigid and closed to new experiences. The World reminds us that healthy individuals continue growing and evolving throughout their lives. The final card that appeared was the High Priestess, and this is probably the most important warning of all. The High Priestess represents intuition and inner knowing, and she's reminding you that deep down, you already know when something isn't right. This card is warning against ignoring your intuitive red flags because someone seems good on the surface. Your inner wisdom is always speaking to you, but sometimes we override it because we want something to work so badly. The High Priestess says that gut feeling that something is off is usually accurate. The High Priestess is also highlighting the importance of trusting your body's wisdom. If you feel tense, drained, or anxious around someone consistently, that's valuable information. Your nervous system picks up on energy that your conscious mind might rationalize away. This card reminds us that you don't need concrete evidence to trust your intuition. If something feels wrong, it probably is. The High Priestess encourages you to honor your inner knowing even when you can't fully explain it logically. So there you have it, beautiful Taurus souls. 10 powerful cards showing us the warning signs to watch for so we don't repeat those painful patterns. The universe is really looking out for us right now, giving us this clear guidance about red flags to avoid. I hope this reading resonated with you and helps you navigate your romantic journey with more wisdom and self-protection. Remember, you deserve love that feels peaceful, consistent, and respectful. Trust your inner knowing and don't settle for anything less than what truly serves your highest good. Let me know in the comments if any of these warning signs felt particularly relevant to your current situation. I love hearing how these readings land for you, sending you so much love and protection on your path. Until next time, stay strong and trust your beautiful Taurian wisdom.